think a little while ago, I told y'all about there was this thing that me and my father-in-law decided to do, man, because we were both kind of looking for the Crown Royal BlackBerry, right? We were looking for the Crown Royal BlackBerry, and I was like, yo, man, should I go over to Canada and get the Crown Royal BlackBerry? Because, you know, for those of you who aren't necessarily familiar, Detroit is like right across the river, the Detroit River. You can get the Windsor, Canada, and, you know, they got the duty-free shops over there, and then they got like these state-owned stores. I'm forgetting the name of the stores right now, but I'm like, you know, Crown Royal is a Canadian brand, you know, it's a Canadian product. So maybe if we just drove over to Canada, we may be able to get it, get us some of that shit, right? Wrong. They ain't had that shit, man. And nobody had a Crown Royal, right? And I was getting a little perturbed seeing motherfuckers from all across the country. You know what I'm saying? My friends, I was a little jealous. You know what I'm saying? I was a little jealous of y'all to have the Crown Royal before we got it here right across the goddamn border. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was a little upset. But I've been seeing the Crown Royal BlackBerry in the wild, man. And I'll be damned, man.
Niggas coming.
Those motherfucking stores had to know that the niggas was coming, right? So it just so happened I saw one while I was at work, right? I saw one in the liquor store. I stopped just to get like some chips and a soda or something so I could like, just real quick lunch. And I'm like, damn, I can't get it right now. I'm at work. But just so happens, they had it for like $29.99 in that store. I'm like, damn, and I can't cop right now. But I'm like, well, fuck it then. I might come back this way when I get off. And then by the time I got off of work, I was like, nah, I don't even feel like driving back over that way. That's stupid. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna stop at the liquor store on my way home and probably get like a 6-pack or something like that on my way, home from work or whatever. So, that's going to be what it is. But the liquor store that I stopped at, they just so happened to have the Crown Royal BlackBerry. Now, here's the rub, though, right? They had the Crown Royal BlackBerry, but when I looked, I had to squint at the motherfucking price because this nigga had to been tripping. This motherfucker had the Crown Royal BlackBerry priced at $59.99. Nigga! He had to been smoking rocks, right? I'm like, so I see the price. And I asked him, I'm like, yo, man, because I'm thinking that's got to be a misprint. That's got to be a motherfucking misprint. I'm like, yo, man, how much is the Crown Royal BlackBerry? And he's like, oh, yeah, you said it's $59.99. And I shook my head. I'm just like, God damn. I did just like this, man. Like, this motherfucker tripping for real. And he took offense to the fact that your man Spann was shaking his head. Like, what are you shaking your head for? I had to buy that second hand. I couldn't get that from my distributor. And like, listen here, merchant, you know what I'm saying? That sounds like a you problem, fam. Now, here's the rub, right? Here's the thing. I get to a certain degree, a lot of these, liquor stores or whatever, most of their customers probably aren't going to venture out and go to see if they can find the liquor that they're looking for at a cheaper rate. They just go to the neighborhood store and that's good enough for them, right? I'm not that kind of guy. I got access to, well, not necessarily access, but I can get around. I got a car. I can, I don't have to settle for, you trying to charge me $59.99 for this shit that I know is cheaper elsewhere. But then on top of that, he tried to act as though I couldn't find it cheaper elsewhere. I'm like, bro, I get my Crown mostly from CVS right up the street, and it's normally $7, $8, maybe even $10, depending on the flavor, cheaper than what you motherfuckers are charging in here, which is why I hardly ever go to the liquor store now to go buy my liquor. I get that shit at CVS because they are normally cheaper than what a lot of these liquor stores are trying to charge for the shit, right? So he said, you said you found it for $30 in Detroit. If you found it for $30 in Detroit, you go buy it for $30 in Detroit, and then I'll buy it from you. And I'm like, yeah, man, you taking way too much offense to the fact that I'm not buying this shit from you at $59.99. Like, hey, bro, if you can find somebody that's going to buy that shit, more power to you, but it just won't be me, right? So today, man, I'm just, out running some errands, man. And I rolled up into this gas station that also happens to sell liquor and shit, which I think is odd considering, they don't want you to drink and drive, but that's crazy. But at the gas station, they had the Crown Royal BlackBerry, and they had the Crown Royal BlackBerry for the price of $32. $32, man. Wait a minute, I just thought about it. That can give me like a copyright or some shit, you know. We gonna talk about that copyright shit in a minute too. But yeah, man, they had it for $32, man. So I'm like, yo, man, that's what's up. That's what's up. I'll take it. $32, I can cop that, right? So what I decided I was gonna do before I actually tasted it, I'm gonna taste it right here on the show, right? So I got my glass ready. You know what I'm saying? I got my glass ready. I hadn't even poured it out because I know like sometimes folks be wanting sometimes folks like they want to see what the bag look like. So here's the bag, right? Here's the bag right here. It's a little purple, a little royal purple or whatever with some, I guess some blackberry accents and shit, you know. And yeah, so we gonna see. I took the wrapping and shit off, but yeah, man. So here we go, and we gonna see if this shit was worth the hype. You know what I'm saying? Because you know it reminded me a little bit of the hype around the peach. You know what I'm saying? When the peach came out, motherfuckers was doing all kind of crazy shit with the peach. And, you know, I had to go and go to great lengths to go get it at a decent price. So once the hype dies down, I'm sure that, the prices will start stabilizing. But let's see what this Crown Royal BlackBerry is on. Let's see what they talking about here. Okay. All right. Now, see, my aunt told me, because she had it in Chicago, she told me it had like a little grape flavor to it. And I get that. I'm not necessarily getting grape. But I ain't gonna lie to you. This ain't my motherfucking favorite Crown Royal. I mean, it's serviceable. You know, it'll do its thing. I ain't gonna lie, this shit smell like medicine. Smell like medicine. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'll have it in the rotation. But yeah. Honestly, now that I've had it, not necessarily a must-have. And I gotta say, I'm a bit shocked at that, man. Yeah, I am a bit shocked. Especially considering a lot of the hype around it, you know, and I'm a Crown Royal drinker. Like I drink a lot of the different Crown Royals. There's one that I don't even think they sell anymore that I used to kind of like, but the only thing about it, it was really sweet. And that was the Crown Royal Maple. I haven't seen the Crown Royal Maple in forever, but that shit tasted like alligator syrup. I ain't gonna lie to you. So you had to take that shit in moderation. But yeah, man. Maybe this will be one of those crowns that I feel like is better, like, you know, consumed mixed with something. Because normally I drink my Crown straight on the rocks. But nah, man, this ain't a must-have. This is not a must-have for your boy. And so you heard it here first. You know what I'm saying? You heard it here first. I mean, it's okay. It's just okay. And that's okay. You know, that's just one man's opinion. I'm sure there's gonna be somebody who's like, yo, the Crown Royal, BlackBerry is they shit. Sort of like how the Crown Royal Peach is my shit, right? And the Crown Royal Salted Caramel, that was another thing too, right? So I know some people be like, what's up with the bag? They like the bags and shit. I got a bunch of bags downstairs. But like say for instance, if you got like the Crown Royal Peach back in the early days, they actually had a little peach, stitched into the bag or whatever. Or if you got the Crown Royal Salted Caramel, it would have like a snowflake, stitched into the bag or whatever. They ain't doing nothing special with this. But yeah. So, yeah. Let me try one more time. Yeah. It's serviceable. It's a serviceable whiskey. So, yeah. It ain't worth no goddamn $59.99. That's for goddamn show, nigga. That's what. Nigga! So yeah, man, we got that going on. So I finally got my hand on the Crown Royal BlackBerry. I did a live review of it right here on the show. I could taste the blackberry. It's got it smells a lot like medicine. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you like a grape flavored sort of thing, I can see this sort of being like in your rotation. I'm not really the biggest fan of like grapey sort, and I it's not grape, but it's in that it's kind of leaning in that way. And I see what my aunt was talking about. It's kind of leaning in that way. So yeah, you got that going on, man. The Crown Royal BlackBerry has been conquered, it's been had, and it's not worth a lot of the hype that I've been seeing online as of late. So that kind of sucks because I was excited about it, but it'll go in the cabinet. Same as the rest of the stuff, right? So you got that going on.